welcome. You're watching Wealth Creators on Money9. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this show, we talk about those stocks that have given robust returns to investors in their portfolios in the past performance. And to talk about one such stock today is my colleague Harsh Chauhan, and he's joining from Mumbai. Harsh, good morning, and thank you very much for joining in. Help us understand which stock have you researched for today, and what are you going to talk about?
Thanks, Sakshi. So, the stock that I picked up for today was basically a small cap company, but thanks to the rally, it has now become a mid cap company as its market cap has gone past 5,000 crore. It's the IT arm of CK Birla Group, Birlasoft. Now, this company has expertise in digital. Now, when I say digital, they are experts in blockchain, data analytics, cloud computing, enterprise technology, and services. This company has gone through a massive restructuring in 2018 where it got merged and demerged with KPIT. I know that's confusing, but I'll help you explain and simplify that for you. So like in the first leg of the restructuring, Birlasoft and KPIT got merged with each other to create a 700 million plus uh, revenue entity. Whereas in the second leg, the automobile engineering and mobility solutions of KPIT was housed and demerged into new KPIT, whereas the IT service business of both Birlasoft and KPIT were kept in the Birlasoft, and that's how Birlasoft has emerged as a new digital business IT service company. And the prime rationale behind this entire restructuring was to enhance the potential of growth and profitability, thereby creating and unlocking value for both the businesses.
Okay, so we're talking about this mid-sized IT firm Birlasoft now, and of course, this has been in news. The stock has also been rising up right after it reported its Q4 earnings as well. So strong performance on the bottom line there. We talk about that too. But first up, help us understand, what kind of returns has this stock really given to investors who have invested in this stock so far? And in case you could also help us understand what's the kind of performance that we have seen in Birlasoft when you compare it with the benchmark index as well.
Yes, sir. Sakshi, I'll help you explain everything. And as you rightly said, this stock has been talk of the town over the past couple of days, and it has rallied over four times in past 1 year. Like from 72 rupees in May 2020, it has gone up to 308 rupees. This stock, like to put it in simple terms, this stock has turned 10,000 rupees into 42,000. 300 rupees in just 1 year, delivering around 323% returns to its shareholders. Now, if we compare its performance with Sensex or the BSC small cap index, it has outperformed both with a great margin. Like Sensex delivered a return of 65%, whereas the BSC small cap index rose around 120%. So the outperformance of Birlasoft has been huge when compared to the benchmark indices. Now, if you look at this chart, like the blue line, if you see, there is huge spike, especially towards the later end of the graph, whereas that's the Birlasoft stock price graph, whereas the green line is the BSC small cap index chart, and the red line is BSC Sensex. Now, all these has been normalized to 100 to give a proper understanding and create a relation between the outperformance. So that's how that has been the outperformance of Birlasoft over BSC Sensex and BSC Midcap. Over to you, Sakshi.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this has been a stunning performance by Birlasoft, a fourfold rise in the stock price from 72 to over 300 rupees currently. And the performance does not end here because we have recently seen great performance on the fundamental front, on the P&L front as well. But this stock has been able to create multi-bagger returns for all the investors in just 1 year. If you had invested 10,000 rupees in this stock a year back, or perhaps when the first lockdown happened, back in March 2020. From that time until now, you would have definitely created over 40,000 rupees just by investing near 10,000 rupees. So sharp return there, over 300% of returns. So that's something that has been really, really interesting. It's also crossed the benchmark index and the small cap index by a wide margin. Very, very sharp return over there. And thank you very much, Harsh, for pointing this out to us. The kind of performance we've seen in Birlasoft is absolutely one-way upside when you compare with these benchmark indices as well. So just dig deeper a little more and help us understand what your research has brought about this stock so far. What have been the key factors which has which have really helped Birlasoft give such kind of robust returns?
So, as you rightly said, Sakshi, like the entire rally has been fueled by its Q4 performance. Like if we look at the performance in Q4 FY21, the company's net profit grew by 43% to 99 crores from 69 crores in the Q4 of FY20. Now, if we talk about the EBITDA margins, even that has improved by 48 basis points quarter on quarter or sequentially to 16.9% despite the wage hike. Now, these margin expansion has been primarily led by revenue growth, lower provisioning, and higher billing days. Apart from that, the company has recorded a net deal win rate of around $888 million of the total contract value in FY21, and it has also achieved the highest ever annuity and digital deals in the FY21. Now the company
Hmm.
is eyeing at the $1 billion mark of total income in the coming years, whereas management commentary or guidance has been that the revenues could jump up in a higher double-digit number, and whereas the EBITDA margin will be 15% plus, as well as the management is scouting for inorganic growth opportunity or is looking for companies that have revenues of around 150 to 200 million dollars and would like to take over and to fuel growth going ahead. So that's the kind of financial performance this company has given over the last 1 year and in the last quarter.
Absolutely. So it's not just the top line and bottom line, but the continuous winning of deals, especially the mid-sized deals. I've been reading about it as well. About like $5 to $10 million kind of deals have been really a push factor for Birlasoft so far. And now that you talk to us about how the management is really expecting the revenues to grow in a high double digit going forward, definitely there would be some kind of more upside that we can definitely expect on this stock going forward. So help us understand, what are the top brokerage houses really talking about this stock? How are they foreseeing the momentum going forward for those investors, viewers watching this show? If they want to take a pick today on Birlasoft, is it a good time, or the rally has already done and dusted? What are the top brokerage houses really saying?
So Sakshi, the market analysts are gung-ho and very bullish on the stock. Like for example, Anand Rathi has set a price target of 350 rupees for the stock, and that is owing to strong dealings and rising share in the annuity business. Now the consolidation or the restructuring with the company witnessed is now over, and now now the synergies between KPIT and Birlasoft will come out, and that will further explode the growth of the company, as well as the rising of offshore will offset the supply side pressures and help expand margins for the company. So that is what Anand Rathi has to say about the stock. Whereas the Share Khan has raised its price target to 335 rupees on the back of impressive Q4 performance that the company has demonstrated in 2021, as well as the strong wins and improving annuity revenue and sharpening focus on the top 30 clients that the company has. Now, apart from that, Shetan has also pointed out that this company has around 1120 crores of cash on its books. So that is equivalent to 15% of his market capitalization. So keeping that in mind, this stock is still really cheap. As well as the management has guided of a very free cash flow generation to continue over the next couple of years. So this stock is going to stay here for a while, and the rally is likely to continue going ahead if you look at the brokerage recommendations.
Absolutely. So the rally is not stopping short just as yet. So if in case all the viewers who are watching and you are looking out for opportunities in the mid-size IT space, this is a stock that you can definitely keep an eye out on. However, you must definitely speak to your financial advisors before taking a pick onto any of the stocks that are talked about on our platform on money9.com. Thank you very much, Harsh, for bringing out this excellent research in front of our viewers and to help them understand, how can they really strategize on such companies and such stocks in the IT space as well. So this is a show. Wealth Creators is a show where we talk about multi-bagger stocks. So the search for multi-bagger stocks really ends right here on money9.com on Wealth Creators, where we bring to you deeply researched stocks and how they have created value for you over the long term as well. With that, we wrap up this edition. Many thanks for tuning in.